The Curious Case of English Idioms, a journey through the weird and wonderful. If you've ever bitten off more than you could chew, spilled the beans, or let the cat out of the bag, then congratulations, you're already part of one of the strangest linguistic traditions in the world of English idioms. These curious expressions are sprinkled throughout everyday conversations, decorating our speech with color, confusion, and comedy. Yet, when you stop to think about them, they make absolutely no sense. And that's exactly where our story begins, with a traveler named Lily, who loved words almost as much as she loved adventures. One rainy afternoon, while sipping tea in a cozy London cafe, she overheard a conversation between two locals. "You're barking up the wrong tree, mate," one man said. "Am I? Well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it," the other replied. Lily blinked. There were no dogs, no trees, and definitely no bridges in sight. Just two people chatting about work. She leaned back in her chair, utterly intrigued. Why, she thought, do English speakers talk in riddles? And so began her quest to discover the most bizarre and fascinating idioms in the English language. Chapter 1. Of Cats, Bags, and Secrets. Lily's first stop was an old bookshop in Covent Garden, where dusty dictionaries lined the shelves like ancient relics. She found a book titled The Origins of Odd English. According to it, the phrase, "let the cat out of the bag," dates back to medieval markets. Farmers would sell piglets in sacks, but some mischievous sellers would swap the pig for a less valuable cat. When the buyer opened the bag, surprise! The cat was out, and the secret was revealed. "Fascinating," Lily murmured, imagining a medieval farmer yelping as a furious cat flew out of a burlap sack. No wonder the phrase stuck. Chapter 2. Fishy Business and Flying Pigs. As Lily continued her idiomatic expedition, she encountered other gems, each stranger than the last. There was something smells fishy, which apparently came from the days when people literally judged freshness by the nose. Then came when pigs fly, the English way of saying never. The phrase had appeared in the 1600s as a sarcastic jab. After all, pigs were unlikely to sprout wings anytime soon. But Lily's favorite was mad as a hatter. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't inspired by the whimsical character in Alice in Wonderland. Instead, it came from 18th century hat makers who used mercury to treat felt. Prolonged exposure caused tremors, mood swings, and hallucinations, symptoms that made them seem quite mad. The idiom, it turned out, was disturbingly literal. Chapter 3. Raining Cats and Dogs. On her next rainy day in England, and there were many, Lily couldn't help but think of the phrase, "It's raining cats and dogs." She imagined cats and dogs tumbling from the sky, claws flailing and tails spinning. The image was ridiculous, but the phrase was real. The likely origin? Old England again, where heavy rains would wash debris and occasionally dead animals through the streets and gutters. A storm bad enough to carry off cats and dogs would truly be one to remember. Over time, the saying transformed from tragedy to exaggeration. Chapter 4. Breaking the Ice and Burning the Midnight Oil. In a quaint village near Oxford, Lily visited a pub aptly named the Broken Ice. Inside, an old sailor told her the phrase, "break the ice," came from ships that literally broke through frozen waters to clear a path for trade. Later, it became a metaphor for easing social tension. The sailor grinned as he poured her tea. A bit ironic, isn't it? Breaking ice to make things warmer? Then there was burning the midnight oil, born from an era when scholars worked by oil lamps into the late hours of the night. Lily thought of modern students bent over laptops and smirked. Some things never change. Chapter 5. Bats in the Beltry and the Kitchen Sink. By the time Lily reached the northern countryside, she was collecting idioms like souvenirs. Bats in the Beltry, meaning someone's a bit eccentric, came from old church towers where bats fluttered wildly in the dark. The Beltry represented the head, and the bats symbolized madness. Then there was everything but the kitchen sink. During World War II, families sent metal to be melted down for the war effort, all except their porcelain kitchen sinks. The idiom became shorthand for absolutely everything imaginable. Chapter 6. The World in Words. Lily eventually crossed the Atlantic to America, where idioms evolved with a distinct flavor. There she found phrases like shooting the breeze, to chat idly, kick the bucket, to die, and hit the hay, to go to bed. Each phrase painted a miniature story of human habit, conversations by the porch, old barns and buckets, fields of straw. The more she learned, the more she realized that idioms weren't just linguistic oddities. They were windows into how people lived, worked, and dreamed across centuries. Epilogue. The beauty of nonsense. Months later, Lily sat by the Thames again, her notebook overflowing with idioms. She'd gone down the rabbit hole, chased wild geese, and bent over backwards to uncover their meanings. And yet she felt only wonder. English idioms, she decided, were a mirror of humanity itself. Absurd, unpredictable, and endlessly creative. So the next time someone tells you to hold your horses or put your money where your mouth is, remember, these aren't just phrases. They're stories, tiny time capsules of history and humor handed down through generations. Because in the end, English isn't just a language. It's an adventure in itself, full of cats, dogs, hats, pigs, and more than a little madness.